Hello everyone and welcome to back to Let's Play Megaman X. In the last part we took down Spark Mandrill, and now we're moving on to the next guy in my chain, which is Armadillo. What's the dealio, man? Okay, I'm never doing. I'm gonna promise myself never to say that again. And this is your generic minecart level, which actually has some very nice physics behind it. As you notice, we're going really fast in this. If you dash and jump off, just watch the air I get. Remember, at some point there's right going between those bats and end up standing where I am right now. But oh man, I'm gonna be seeing a lot of this stage later on for various reasons. But anyway, now there's this guy, which there's only two of in the entire game, technically speaking. You're gonna need to burn him down. You don't have to do this one. This one's optional to destroy, but I still do it. And over here we get our third and second to last sub-tank, and my controller died. Crap. Okay, back in action. And over here is actually the only other use of the... what's it called? Helmet upgrade. Helmet upgrade doesn't get used much in this game. In the next, I forget what, in X2 I don't remember what it does at all. X3 is useful for finding items, but that's it. Now, as you can see, there's a lot of tracks around, but those are for the minecarts, obviously. But the minecarts themselves are actually very dangerous. I think they can actually damage you as well. But at the level itself, this isn't actually a bad one at all. It's actually rather fun to play through, and it's, considering it's the stage I see the most in this game. And jeez, I almost fell right off, and I'm gonna fall around the guy, aren't I? Yep. Burn this guy down, because you need to burn this guy down if you want to 100% the game, by the way. And over here, we saved the hot tank. Well, the hot tank would still be up there, but the ceiling would be too high for us to jump up to it. And we're almost done with the stage, actually. Man, I remember playing this on my old Super Nintendo with all the slowdown this used to have. In fact, it still does, even though I'm playing this on an emulator. And dash jump off. I messed up the jump there, but later in the game you're gonna want to remember that location I was just at. And now it's time for Armadillo, or Mr. Armadillo. Now, as you can see, he has armor on. That armor protects him from a lot of shit. I think with his armor, I think he might have almost the exact same amount of defense and HP as the final boss. But with the energy spark, it knocks off his armor, making him pathetically easy. In fact, for the most part, this is what he'll only do, just this little loop he's in. Which causes me to almost kill him, but he is lucky and got away at the last second. And also you can harm him when he's rolling now, but that's the end of Armored Armadillo. Oh, farewell, Armadillo. We barely knew ye. In fact, we never knew ye. And that's the end of that stage. That was tame. And for beating him, we get Rolling Shield. Which is only useful for a couple bosses and its charge shot, which is a nice little shield that protects you from a lot of stuff. Why aren't I going to the next stage? Come on, past me. Go into the stage. Go. Go. Thank you. And now it's Launch Octopus. Who is the annoying water level of the game? Now, water levels in Mega Man ever since Mega Man 2 have been very odd to me. Because you jump like 3 times as high. In reality, you're a lot denser than water, so you should be falling 3 times as fast. In fact, you shouldn't be able to jump at all. In fact, I think the only Mega Man that swims is Classic and 8, and besides the characters in the ZX series. And now it's time for what I consider to be one of the worst sub-bosses in history. He looks intimidating, don't get me wrong, but besides that he's pathetically easy, although he does seem to have a lot more HP than I remember. My strategy is always just use this, but at some point I think I just decided to be smart and use the normal buster. Because this level, I think actually, counting all of them, has the most sub-bosses out of everything, excluding final levels. Because, let's see, there's this guy, the next guy, and then a repeat of the same guy. So, 4 sub-bosses in this level. Oh, these fish. I used to find them funny, but now I find them just annoying. And sub-boss number 2 is a red-colored version of the first guy. Who can suck you in to death, which I think I do die from this guy, actually, if I remember correctly. Yes, I do. Why is my mouse on screen? I really need to stop putting my mouse on the emulator. God damn it. Controller? Controller death? No. Controller death. There we go. Oh dear. That was very close. So yeah, really, just play your cards right. This sub-boss should be pretty easy, even though I nearly died to it. Luckily he gives you a couple energy pellets. Now we have these little mechanisms which will shoot a stream of water upwards, or at least a tornado, and will allow you to jump up and get to the surface. Only 2 of them have something useful, you know, 3 technically have something useful at the end of them. That one has an energy pellet, which I kinda needed actually. There's nothing useful up there. And the top of this one's my goal though. Because if you notice, there's bombs falling from above, or torpedoes of some sort. And there's a boat. We're on a boat! Use the Storm Tornado on this to destroy it. You don't need to use Storm Tornado, you can use anything, but Storm Tornado is just the most efficient. It'll crash through the ground and lead to the 3rd sub-boss, who I recommend using Storm Tornado against because it utterly destroys him. It's this thing, which had a cameo in Mega Man ZX Advent. And again, ZX takes place in the same universe, so... Then again, they all take place in the same universe, just at different time periods. So yeah, Storm Tornado kind of rapes him. And we get the heart tank for the level. 3rd to last heart tank, and that's the 3rd to last heart tank, if I remember correctly. And now we can continue on to the stage and beat it. But not before facing off against our 4th sub-boss, which is the same as the 3rd, just that he can burrow underground. Just like the first fight, Storm Tornado is surprisingly effective against him, even though I don't know how we're shooting air underwater. We must be creating a whirlpool of some sort. And over here, we have the boss door. Get rolling shield ready, because that's Launch Octopus's weakness, and prepare for oddly one of the easier fights if you have this weakness. And again, a lot of these fights are pretty easy if you have their weakness. Otherwise, they can be kind of difficult, especially the final Maverick I'll be taking on. I must be talking kind of fast right now. I'm sorry for that. I'll try to slow down. And he's down. That was actually a lot faster than I remember it being. Mouse, why you still be on screen? And for beating him, we get Horming Torpedo. Oh, Super Nintendo typos. You are rampant and quite numerous, surprisingly. You know I love the Super Nintendo to death. And next Maverick we'll be taking on is Boomer Kuwanger. Who I think Kuwanger is some sort of Japanese beetle or some sort. I don't really know. And now we have what was probably the bane of my existence in terms of this game in my childhood. I hated this level when I was little. This is as far as I could get. As for why this was as far as I could get, I don't really know the exact reason. I just couldn't get past this part for some reason. Not this part in particular, a certain part in this stage. A couple minutes. Or not even a couple minutes, more like probably half a minute, I'd say. Here comes the elevator segment. So many instant death spikes. So little time. But yeah, we're actually almost at the end of this stage already. There's after this vertical outside section, there's only one more part to this stage, and that's right before the boss door. I surprisingly go through this very well. I've actually never gone through this section this fast. Anyway, there's the heart tank, but how do we get it? Either you can wait to get the Boomer Kuwanger's weapon, or you can charge up a shotgun ice. I had to go away for a second there. And when you charge it up, it becomes a slide that I'm just now realizing has Chill Penguin looking like it at the bottom of the pattern. And for doing that, you get some audio desync. That is odd. You have to check that out. And you also get your heart tank, which is the second to last one in the game. If I played my cards right, if I remember correctly. I'm gonna need to look through the already commentated over ones. That is some odd audio desync. I'm gonna have to check that out. I'm not sure if it'll still be in the video by the time, but there is like a audio desync. It's like ahead of the video by like half a second, maybe a fourth of a second. Yeah, I'd say about a half a second. And I moonwalked backwards into the room. That is kind of weird. And now it's time for Kuwanger. He's weak against the Horming Torpedo, and it actually is quite helpful for this fight anyway, because it literally homes in on him, or in this case, horms. Oh, Horming Torpedo, hero type almost as famous as what am I fighting for from X4. If you guys remember that meme, because that was probably up, because this is probably going, because X4 probably took 2 weeks to fully upload, and this is probably going to take another week. And he's down for the count. Farewell, Mr. Beetle. And for beating him, we get Boomerang Cutter. Which is actually the only weapon that fails its own energy. What does that when one boomerang returns, 1 point returns. It only is fully expended if it it'll never come back, well, until you refill it, of course, if you either hit an enemy with it, or use the charge shot. But anyway, now we need to go back to Spark Mandrill. In this area, there is a sub-tank we need to get. And how you get it, you need to jump, and while you're falling, use the boomerang cutter. And it will get it for you. Anyway, it's coming towards the end here, so I'm gonna have to end this off here. Thank you guys for watching, rate, comment, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. And I will see you guys next time on Mega Man X1, when we go after the next Maverick, Sting Chameleon. See you guys then.